Hey, and we're back. We're back. And Alan's still losing his mind on Facebook, y'all. Brother Alan, what's wrong with you today? You drunk today, man? You been drinking wine or something, Brother Alan? What's wrong with you? You're not even supposed to be believing in this stuff. You're supposed to be into West African culture. That's what you propagate. And as you come in the room, let me know how the audio is and make sure you thumb up the video and smash that subscribe button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. But Alan, what's wrong with you, man? Are you losing your mind? You done went overseas and then got a demon in you or something, huh? Did something jump in your body overseas that got you out here making a fool of yourself on Facebook? Hey, Sister Angelique, how you doing? How's the audio, Angelique? Sound good and clear? We've been having some technical difficulties already, but we're gonna make sure that we get this one out. Good audio. Thank you, thank you. Uh-huh. Look, I knew he was out there. He couldn't keep himself. Alan, I'm not gonna lie on you, my brother. I'm not gonna lie on you. But I'm gonna expose what's in you. Number one, why would you even comment on that post? We're gonna ask you some questions. And we want you to answer since you're in here. You did this to yourself. Why are you even commenting on that post when you are not into Kemet as far as what we know? Look, good night. You ready to go now? Boy, you ashamed, man. What's wrong with you today, brother? You didn't smoke some good weed. What's wrong with you, brother? You popping pills or something today? You throwing back a few too many today? What's wrong with you, Alan? Have you lost your African mind? What is wrong with you? I told you. You're gonna answer some questions, bro. And I don't care if you don't want to put the answer in here. We already done seen you. You're on my Facebook making a fool of yourself. And you're in here and couldn't stay behind the bushes. Alan had to jump out. Alan had to come out of the bushes. He couldn't stay back there like saw none of them be looking, peeping from the bushes. So, Alan, since you're here, let's answer these questions I have for you, brother. Don't be so scared. Now, your word, haplogroup, you asked me like an idiot. And I'm sorry, I don't want to disrespect you, but only idiots speak when they shouldn't be speaking. I said before, you're not even a Kimite, as far as what I know. You're into real African culture. That's at least what I thought about you. You know, RBG, you know, West Africa, you know, Central Africa, you know, South Africa, you know, East Africa, you know, Africa. But you have never, I have never one time known you to be a Kimite, man. So why would you open your mouth if a seed of Kemet is not in you? Hmm? There's a seed of that Kemet in you, brother. Oh, yes, it is. There is a seed of that foolishness in you, Alan. And I'm about to expose it. Now, if you're putting up on Facebook pictures of Jimmy Swaggart or some white man that I don't claim as my ancestor, and you're speaking about ancestry with a picture of Jimmy Swaggart, do you think at any time I would chime in on that post and number one, go in perjuring myself, making a fool of myself, even saying wrong and inaccurate statements like that's not Ramses too? You're crazy. But if I was to do that, just again, Frame the thought in your mind. Frame the thought in your mind. If there's a Facebook post about Jimmy Swaggart, a Caucasian redneck preacher, and they're talking about ancestry on the post, why would I take it upon myself to jump in the post and start saying, prove to me what haplogroup Jimmy is? Should I even care? If I'm not into saying that white people are in my ancestry, why should I even care? Obviously, Alan cares. Look, make Kemet great again. You can't. There's nothing left. There's nothing left, Alan. I'm sorry, brother. There's nothing left in Kemet but dust, spiders, old rocks, dead bodies, and papyruses with autofellatio and things like that. There's nothing left there, kid. There's nothing left, Alan. There's it's nothing left. Napoleon took the last batch of it. Whatever was there. There's nothing left, Alan. You said Kemet lives? He said Kemet lives. Kemet is as dead as that mummy on that thumbnail. That mummy that you asked me, did I know the haplogroup of, Alan? Because see, not only were you talking and you shouldn't have been talking, but you exposed yourself because you subconsciously think that you are related to that man on the thumbnail, bro. Yes, you do. You wouldn't have never commented if you didn't think subconsciously you're related to that thing. I'm proving why. Just hold on. Put your seatbelt on, baby. I'm proving why. This is my channel. I could take my time, right? I'm proving why. You're still here. If I was wrong, you would have said straight up out of hand. Look at that. E1B1A. How many times are y'all gonna say that that genetic haplogroup? How many times are y'all gonna say that? So who's E1B1A? Are you E1B1A? Or are you trying to tell us that monstrosity on the thumbnail is E1B1A? Is that what you in here making a fool of yourself trying to do? Is that what you're saying? Yes or no, Alan? Are you saying that you are the same night train? Night train. We trying to get Alan. Look, he getting mad now. Don't get mad, Alan. Don't get mad. Peace, brother Night Train. Peace to you, fam. We got brother Allen in here, brother Night Train, saying that thing on the thumbnail is the same haplogroup as him, obviously, because he's over here defending something. I don't know what you're defending. You're defending on my Facebook post. What are you defending? Let's tackle that one before we get into this. Kemet is dead. Like I said, Kemet is as dead as that thing on the thumbnail, Alan. Wake up. There's nothing there but chiseled language, graffiti art, old dilapidated dollhouses, and brick piles. Look, the Bible's not in question here. Is that a Bible on the thumbnail? Is that a Bible or a white man? Huh? Is that a Bible on the thumbnail or is that Ramses II and you're asking me about his haplogroup as if you are Ramses II? Look, look at him, y'all. Prove that's a white man. We talked about this yesterday. An area of science that's just as accurate as a haplogroup. Because as it relates to haplogroups, only the smallest part of what you are is actually registered and documented. You're a potpourri, Alan. even you, as black and as Negroish as you are a mixed bag of nuts. But watch this. The smallest, most clear part of your genetics. Look, you got to laugh. The smallest and most clear part of your genetics will never lead you or me or anybody with good sense to believe that E1B1A produces that phenotype that you see on the, that's not it, Alan. I could show you that face from the side and his nose. I'm telling you, Alan, Jesus, Alan, his chin is as sharp as a pencil, Alan. Alan, his nose is not a phenotype that is anywhere near E1B1A. Nowhere. No, you ain't going to bed because we just getting started laughing at you. See, I don't want you to ever make that mistake again, Alan. No, I'm not keeping Kemet alive. What I'm actually doing is showing the people things that y'all would never show them. You, people like you, imposters, Kemet imposters, and people like the real shysters like Jabari and them. You're not a shyster. You're just playing the role in devil's advocate today and just being stupid. So we got to laugh. But there are people that really believe that shit. Kemet is dead, as dead as that thing on the thumbnail. Now let's talk about haplogroups since this brother getting sleepy. Now I said to Brother Allen, when he asked me so crazily and unscrupulously asked me what was the haplogroup of that thing on the thumbnail, Allen asked me that as if that's my ancestor, y'all. Y'all know clearly, I'm gonna say it 1,000. That ain't nobody related to me. No, 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 Allen. I'm not an Egyptian. And you're not either. But you're defending them today. So you got to get laughed at and clowned just like that. Just like you're one of the real charlatans. You're just playing the devil's advocate and imposter today. You got to get it because you fell into that hole. So the brother Allen says, what's his haplogroup? And I say, I don't give a damn, Allen. I don't give a damn, Allen. One more time, y'all. Say it again. I don't give a damn, Allen, what his haplogroup is, what his genetic markers are, what his traits and debilities are. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't. Just like I don't care what haplogroup Jimmy Swaggart belongs to, or what haplogroup Paula White belonged to, or Benny Hinn, or Donald Trump. I don't give a damn, Allen. Look at that shit on the thumbnail, man. You are defending that? You're saying that's your ancestor, brother? Come on. Answer why the room is coming, why people are coming in here so they can see you make a fool of yourself. Come on, Allen. So I proceed to tell Allen, not only do I not give a damn, not only do I not give a damn what his haplogroup is, not only he's not related to me, but Allen, since you're opening your mouth when you shouldn't be, running your little dirty fingers on Facebook when you shouldn't be, let's ask you, are you a match for that monstrosity on the thumbnail? Is your haplogroup the same as his? Come on. Come on, Mr. Scholar on steroids. And I ain't talking about literally. I ain't trying to insult you. I'm talking about Wikipedia scholar, Wikipedia bodybuilder family. This brother here is a copy and paste bodybuilder. This brother can copy and paste 16,000 pounds of of Wikipedia. But why don't you copy and paste your haplogroup and show us his also? I will tell you this, Alan. I will tell you this. Although I don't give a damn about the haplogroup of that man on the thumbnail, I did find out something specific that you might want to know about him. You want to know, Alan? I know you do. He's full of cocaine. While you sitting up there trying to tell everybody that you're related to that, trying to fool the people to make them still fall in this romance with Kemet. What? Alan, where you at, baby? Where you at, man? You fell asleep, Alan? Or did you get sick and throw up talking about Kemet is still alive? I said Kemet is dead and powerless. Not just dead, powerless, empty, forgotten about, except by a small group of people. And the reason why I say it's empty is because I told you, man, look at what we got out here in the open. Look at Ramses. Should he be out here? Hell, I know that's the closest thing to real life if you've ever seen concerning that particular pharaoh. But let me also tell you this. Yes, he looks like a white dude, a night train. He looks like a white dude because he is a white dude. We said it the other day. Phenotype means a whole lot. Yes, it does. Phenotype. This brother here want to know what haplogroup, and we're talking about what his haplogroup produced in the way of phenotype that you can actually observe the science. But yeah, his body was full of cocaine. Now, let me also tell you this. Like I said before, every pharaoh in every dynasty wasn't white. I don't want y'all to ever get that in your mind. Not every one of them, but there were plenty that were, and there were plenty of their children that were, and that didn't share a haplogroup with Brother Allen over here. Let me bring your attention to, again, I said it on the other stream, this name. Say this name with me. And let me mute this group over here because they're going crazy. Shit, it's like messing up my stream. Let me mute these guys, y'all. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, so say this word with me, family. Merneptah, Merneptah, Merneptah. That's the name of one of the descendants of that thing on the thumbnail. Most of the pseudo scholars in the conscious community call it Merneptah, Merneptah. But that's not how you pronounce it. The P is silent, just like if you were to say Ta in that language known as Medu Neter, or if you was to say Ptolemaic dynasty, which, mind you, were more white people, more white folks in Kemet, a whole dynasty of them. But the name is spelled Ptolomy, Ptolemy, but the P is silent. So the same goes in the name pronunciation of Merneptah. There is a P, I believe, but it's in the first few syllables. Merneptah. not Merneptah, Merneptah. I believe that's how you say it. Okay. Now let's get beyond that. Merneptah is not a Negro with the same haplogroup as you, Alan. Yeah, Night Train said he's heard it mispronounced many times. Indeed, they do that because they don't know. And that's crazy that these same brothers will bring that information and they'll be screaming, oh, y'all use white people's information, or y'all using a white Jesus, or you using a white man's Bible or white man's religion. But they didn't know Merneptah was obviously not E1B1A. Hey, Storm, how you doing? Merneptah definitely was not E1B1A. The I believe really out of the 9 Ramses, the people, not the descendants, but the 9 people that took on the name Ramses and Merneptah, I believe that they are totally different from Seti. Seti, not Sarah Susan Seti, but Seti, the actual progenitor of that line. hmm There's something crazy, strikingly different about Ramses and Seti. To look like 2 totally different people from 2 totally different parts of the world, 2 totally different phenotypes, and obviously different haplogroups because either the mama had to be white or Seti had a harem of white women or something. Merneptah and Ramses too, they're not E1B1A. Hey, Brother Aaron, peace to you, family. We ran Alan Brown out of here playing games with us, talking about what haplogroup is that guy on the thumbnail. I think Alan is crazy or drunk today. He thinks we care what haplogroup that thing is. We're not, none of us, I don't think any of us in the room are related to that thing. Hey, TN, how you doing? And Brother Aaron Thompson, peace to y'all. Peace to y'all. So, Brother Allen, we're asking you, since you open your mouth and you're defending something that you didn't even know the truth about, he even told me that's not Ramses too. I guess when I put up Merneptah, you're going to tell me that's not him either. I guess when I go through the Ptolemaic dynasty and start showing their depictions, even the museum depictions, and the white faces painted on their sarcophaguses, I guess you're going to do the same thing again, huh, Alan? I bet you won't. Because we're going to ask you for proof. If you want to sell our people Egypt without telling them there was a whole lot of white people ruling Egypt, and in all of its times, dates, and stages, if you don't want to tell them the whole truth and you want to sell them wholesale a lie and a romance with a powerless place of sexual deviance, idolatry, insanity, if you want to do that, then I got to bring you out. Prove it, Alan. You said your haplogroup is E1B1A. We're telling you it's obvious. We don't even have to get the genetic imprint. We just look at what the genetic produces in the way of phenotype. Alan, do you have any blondes in your family? Alan, we're still asking you questions, nut. Let me get my water. Alan wants us to believe he got blondes in his family. You got blondes in your family? Blondes with long, stringy, dog-like hair and crook noses. I ain't talking about a broken nose or a bent nose. I'm talking about, boy, if I show you this man from the side, oh my God. And Alan said they're the same haplogroup. Brother Allen, you worse than the Moors calling themselves white. And then y'all, you know what else was so funny, y'all? Not only, yeah, a nose like Woodstock family. For real. I'm gonna show y'all the picture, man. Cause Obadiah is not exaggerating. Literally, Woodstock. Wait till you see this bird nose, this doggone Mr. Magoo. Oh my God. Well, yo, if I would have put that up right now, Alan wouldn't have came in here. If I'd have put up the side view, Night Train and Brother Obadiah, if I'd have put up the side view, Alan wouldn't even came in the room. See, he confident in saying, you know, Mike, I didn't say that, but y'all could go on my Facebook and see how this brother made a fool of himself over here. He probably he probably on my Facebook page right now, erasing and deleting. You know what else was so funny, y'all? Not only did he perjure himself and jump in too soon and run in his mouth and fingers and everything where he ain't supposed to be, this brother put up a literal, it looked like the spitting image of Abraham Lincoln family. And I know some of these Hebrew Israelites and other people say Abraham was black, and that's why they put him on the penny and all of that. I know what y'all say. But when I even look at Abe, I don't care what you say. They whitewashed his skin. I'm looking at that stringy dog-like hair, that square chin, and that nose. I said phenotype means something. Phenotype is what your genetics produce. Don't never let nobody tell you that observable science or observational science is passe. That's somebody telling you, don't believe your lying eyes. Y'all ever had somebody tell you that? Don't believe your lying eyes. Fringe Montana, peace to you. Yeah, they'll tell you that. And did I say peace to Miss Angelique? Peace to y'all. But yeah, when somebody tell you to ignore phenotype, clear phenotype that just don't happen unless there's a mutation. These types of phenotype features. I mean, come on. If you see a black man walk in a room with short legs and a long upper body, you ought to be able to tell his story. Lincoln had Marfan disease, mutation. Is that really true? He have mutations. He had that disease. Is that a disease? I gotta check that out. Are you for real or you pulling my leg? But come on. This brother posted a mummy that looks just like Abraham Lincoln from the side. Then you could have put this mummy's picture on the penny. I think that's actually who is on the penny. I don't even think that's Abraham Lincoln on the penny. I think that's this ancient mummy from Kemet they put on that penny. Dude looked just like Abraham Lincoln, the one Allen put up. It is a disease, but what I'm asking is the disease of mutation. Diseases are not mutations. Diseases themselves scientifically are the manifestation of a mutation. A mutation itself is genetically only that. An adaptation is genetically only that. That's how we define mutation and or adaptation. But when we look at what the adaptation produces, like let's use the finches of the Galapagos, one of Darwin's studies upon evolution. The finches of the Galapagos had different beak sizes as relates to the island that they lived on and the types of foods that they ate. So the adaptation and or the mutation was only contained in their own particular courses. What they produced was larger or smaller beak sizes. That's not a mutation. It may seem like a mutation, but that's an adaptation. And mutation produces genetic traits. How do we know that? Because if you have a mutated marker, that marker actually is able to be passed on. And truly, mutations can be passed on, but the actual manifestation of the mutation is what you're seeing in the particular phenotype. So what I'm saying is mutation, adaptation, and even all of these components of evolution have to be compartmentalized to properly scope what it is, right? So let's look at this. Let's look at Hatshepsut, which is another ungodly, different looking being, right? Yeah. It's cool. That's good. And that's a good, and those finches tell a lot. Darwin's finches, the Galapagos Islands. So check this out. Peace to Pianki. Peace, Pianki. Damn, Pianki, you made me forget what I was about to say. It was something good too. But peace to you anyway, Pianki. Pianki, can you believe Alan Brown says that thing on the thumbnail is the same haplogroup as he? Pianki, I respect you because you came in here the other day. No, you good, man. It's all right. It's all right. You came in the other day. It's the truth. And you told us a complete truth. But we can't honor Alan doing what he doing, family. Alan asked me what was the haplogroup of this man. As if I care. As if me and this man had the same haplogroup. Oh, we was talking about mutation. Yes, mutation. Yeah, he came in. He's on Facebook, on my Facebook, defending this man. And I'm telling him in the stream earlier, why would you ask me that and be posting all of them crazy comments in my comments section if you're not trying to assert that you think that's your ancestor, Alan? Alan thinks he's kin to Ramses and Merneptah. Wait till y'all see Merneptah's mummy. Yeah, the one y'all call Merneptah. Wait till you see Merneptah's mummy. That's a relative of Ramses too. Yes. But we was talking a little bit about adaptation and mutation, right? Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut looks ungodly mutated. I'm sorry, but just as a common term, mutated from what we know Homo sapien creatures should look like in all of their different phenotypes, even across the races. We know what a human looked like. And we know that even the pharaohs and the other mummies, their skin wasn't like this. What was Hatshepsut? Did she have smallpox or was she part alligator? I'm sorry. But Alan, You may think you're related to not only Ramses II and Merneptah, but you might think for some strange reason that you're related to Hatshepsut, which I said has clear mutations peeking through her phenotype. The manifestation of a mutation or a disease. See, the family talked about disease as relates to mutation, but mutation cannot be actually qualified as the disease or the phenotype. The mutation is a mutation. But we're talking about that skin of Hatshepsut. OMG, Allen. And not only the skin, I don't know, she may have had smallpox because that seems like what it looks like what it is. But if it ain't smallpox, she was half alligator or half lizard. Also, Allen, if you're thinking that she's E1B1A, you tell me, where did she get that Akhenaten like rear skull, that cranium area? Hatshepsut, the back of her head has got to be 9 inches deep, her cranium. Listen, they have a little stand, a little bitty bed, like little, bed for the dead bodies, the mummies, when they're actually testing them and checking them out forensically. And it's shaped like, like a bed that you lay in that's got contours for your head. Man, they couldn't even put Hatshepsut on that. They have to lay Hatshepsut on something flat because her cranium in the back is ridiculous. Rod Bourne wouldn't debate me because Rod know better than that. Allen knows better. Allen know better than what he did today. He was just doing that to be the devil's advocate. Allen don't even believe, in the science that to that degree, unless he been lying to us. Unless you've been lying to us, Allen, you just being stupid today, being foolish, being foolish. But did anybody ever tell y'all this? That you can't buy Kemet wholesale and think it's all black? Think Kemet is ultra black? Are you joking? I remember this one time, Reggie was doing one of the tours in New York at a museum. And they went all through the museum, family, showing everything and all the little, worthless trinkets and all the grave rob stuff and things that ain't never supposed to be seen by nobody because they weren't for anyone's eyes. So Brother Reggie gets to a particular point in his museum tour where they get to the Ptolemaic dynasty and the artifacts that that particular museum has from that period. Family, not only are we going to show you the Ptolemies too, we're going to show you them. We're going to show you some of what we can show you about them. But I remember there was this one specific sarcophagus where it looked like the whitest white man face that you could ever see on this sarcophagus, big as day. I think Sonetta was running the camera, and when Sonetta was panning the room, they was just, oh yeah, ooh ah, wow, yes, this is great. And then when they hit that white face on the sarcophagus, that brother swung that camera around so quick he almost threw it down. But that's what ignorance and romance will do to you. When nobody told you that Egypt and America have so many parallels, it's a shame. Hmm? Egypt was a potpourri, and so is America. So is America. And history tells the same tale about Egypt that history will tell about America. There is some of everything here, genetically, politically. Believe that. Nationalities, I mean, of everywhere around the globe, that have even become citizens here. You know that. You're an American. You could tell this history story accurately. But when history looks back 1,000 years at us, you see, what will be the tale of the tape? Do y'all think there's going to be people monetizing American culture just because there was a few black people that lived here, fought here, and died here? Do you think they're going to monetize the red, white, and blue flag because of Crispus Attucks? Do you think they're going to monetize the red, white, and blue flag because of Norman Schwarzkopf? No, they're gonna if they if they monetize it, they're gonna monetize it based upon the ruling culture and the truth about this place. They're gonna go into the story and they're gonna pull out, yeah, there was a lot of black people and that culture produced a Huey P. Newton and it also produced a David Duke. That's the same parallel as in Kemet. Don't look over all of these white people. There was white kings in Kemet, a lot of them, and white children from these kings, a lot of them, and white wives of these kings, a lot of them. Hell, I wanted to ask, was Ramses actually Hyksos? Brother James the other day said he was a Hittite. Yep, Hyksos invaded Egypt, and so did every other culture that was a world power, invaded Egypt and took over Egypt, including Alexander the homosexual. Hmm. And I think somebody even told me that Ptolemy's dynasty, those kings that came from him, and you can find those kings in the book of Daniel, the king of the north and the king of the south. These are kings that proceeded from the Ptolemaic dynasty. And even that time anomaly that happens in the book of Maccabees, where it starts talking about Alexander and even Antiochus. But these are Greco-Romans. But guess what? These same Greco-Romans ruled Africa, ruled North Africa, not the continent, but they ruled North Africa, namely Kemet. Namely Kemet. One more time, namely Kemet. Everybody ruled Kemet. Not only the Hyksos invaded it, but I said the Greco-Roman Empire. Hell, Rome itself, without the Greeks. Everybody ran that place and took over that place except for the Mexicans. Everybody. Everybody. Hell, I even think they might have had some Australian nice suits. I'm sorry. But I'm saying the truth is the truth, man. Night Train says, I believe before it was Kemet, it was Memphis, and our Memphis has a pyramid lined up with Egypt. Man, I'm telling y'all, I don't know how many of y'all did your research about the Mississippi River and about all of these parallels. I'm not going to go back through those again, but there's a lot of cities named, let's see what Pianki say. It's a difference between Kemet and Egypt, King. It's like calling Malcolm X Malcolm Little. There were many invasions and thus foreign rulers. My name established the 25th dynasty, which is the last African dynasty. Good. But watch this. Is not Egypt and Kemet the same place? Is not Malcolm Little and Malcolm X the same person? So we don't want to get lost in miniature logic. We know that the actual name of that place would be called Kemet, or even other names as relates to lower and upper Kemet, the non-unified upper and lower Kemet. We know that. We know what Hellenization did to Kemet, and we know what Egyptology has done to Negroes. But never get it twisted. We're not in psychosis. We don't deal with miniature logic, Pianki. We know it's good to know Malcolm Little is actually Malcolm X. We know it's good to know the name of Kemet versus having to call it Egypt. But my brother, Egypt and Kemet, same place. Malcolm Little and Malcolm X are the same person. So it doesn't matter. That's a mute point. The point is the truth in the rest of your statement, that there were many invasions and many foreign rulers. Now watch this. You proved what I said the other day about Kemet as relates to its ruling class. Its ruling class was always totally separate from the actual people of Kemet. So the actual people of Kemet will actually be whom we call Egyptians, because the pharaohs, like you said, are foreigners in many of the dynasties. Many of the dynasties. But watch this. As relates to government and sociology, why was Kemet never taken over by its own inhabitants? Brother Pianki, that's a question for you. Is there one dynasty that happened to be a coup, that was rebellion coming from the actual common people of Kemet to take over their land and to kick the foreigners out? Is there one dynasty, Brother Pianki? And I'm asking you that question because I know you're going to be honest. Is there one dynasty that came from the common people of Kemet, actually Nubian people, actually what you would call ancient Ethiopian or even ancient Sudanese? Is there any dynasty in Kemet, not Ethiopia, but in Kemet, that came from the uprising of the people? Pianki, see what I'm saying? So when I'm pointing out to you about the culture, there are many nuances that are never discussed. Why don't these Kemet scholars talk about the common people, Pianki? Why don't they talk about the common people? I don't know. But these guys want, people to get lost into the romance of Egypt, identifying with people and haplogroups, Brother Allen, that are not akin to E1B1A, and have you also identify with deities that have no connection with humanity, nor are they moral, even in their inceptions and projections. The family says, Pianki says, The family said no, but the founders of the 18th dynasty ran out the so-called shepherd kings. Who is the founders of the 18th dynasty? That would be the progenitors of Ramesses, right? That would be people before Ramses. I believe Ramses is 19th dynasty. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about the dynasty? Hmm? So the brother says they ran out the shepherd kings. But that's no big thing to do. That's no big thing to do. Yeah, so see, true, indeed, Bianchi. So I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. I'm not trying to pull your leg at any bit, any bit. Yeah, Ramses 19th dynasty. And so Bianchi, we're never even getting away from the point that I'm making. If the 18th dynasty ran out the shepherd kings, tell me why didn't the common people of Kemet run out the 18th and 19th dynasty? Hmm? See, because that tells you something culturally and anthropologically about the culture. Not any hard artifacts, but it tells you about the mind state of the people, their social acceptance of all of these different cultures in their ruling classes, different genetics, different nationalities in their ruling class, and they never once fought against it, only against the so-called shepherd kings. And mind you, the shepherd kings were the same type of people that the people of Kemet were. Even in the Bible declares that during the funeral of Jacob, the onlookers confused the Israelites for Egyptians. The people are saying in the story, oh, wow, that must have been an important Egyptian. But again, what's an Egyptian? Is it Ramses, that thing on the thumbnail? Or are the actual Egyptians the black people that are never talked about, that are never taught about, that are never exalted, never, y'all don't even monetize them. And if those are your ancestors, the common people of Kemet, why not be proud enough to take that out and monetize that versus monetizing and selling the culture wholesale when there is a duality that if most people knew about, they would not be following Kemet. Yeah, they would not be following it. Facts, Night Train. Adjustment Bureau says Egypt was basically dead by the time the Greeks came. Hmm. Hmm. But Egypt had a pull. You see, a pull. What was the pull that drew Alexander? Was Alexander hungry and hard up for money and gold? No. Alexander had took everybody's gold and everybody's silver and everything else. Was Alexander, was he wanting the priesthood of Kemet around that time to make him a death papyrus? What was the pull on Alexander to go to Egypt to take over that place? I'm going to tell you, same thing Herodotus said he saw there, flipped inside out, upside down sexuality and social constructs. Herodotus, the Greek, says the men stayed home, weaved baskets, and cared for the children while the women went out to work. Jabari never taught y'all that, but Herodotus, the Greek, did. And just like the flipped inside out and upside down social construct and family unit the sexuality. Herodotus told us something putrid about the women. Herodotus said he witnessed bestiality from these mannish women. And I said mannish because they're out in the streets of Kemet being men, working while the guys are at home. I wonder where they learned that from. But did Herodotus exist though? How many times are y'all gonna question the existence of the world's most sought after and respected historians? People have tried that with, I mean, golly, almost every historian you name. When you bring groundbreaking information through the words or writings of a historian, you'll have 1,000 people coming against that. But they're not called historians for nothing, family. It's not called Herodotus histories for nothing. No, Herodotus actually went to Kemet. That's easier to go than going for me to go see Sinetta. It's closer. For real. Some things, family, we as black people, we question the wrong things. We question the wrong thing. All of these people in Kemet, they should be holding every one of their teachers' feet to the fire and saying, why did y'all not tell us we're representing an ancient version of America? Everybody that followed Kemet should be telling them, why have y'all not taught us about the common people of Kemet? Y'all got us identifying with people from other nations that came in and took over the government. And then poor brothers like Allen come up in 2019 and says they're of the same haplogroup. Brother says, do I trust the Greek source? Yes. Yes. Are you kidding? Most of the Greek sources came right from North Africa. Do y'all know that there's a difference between the Greek that was spoken in the Greek provinces and islands and whatnot, and there is a Greek that had its inception in North Africa, even during the time of the Ptolemaic dynasty? And did you not know Greek is integral to deciphering or even paralleling the Demotic, which is another type of one of y'all writings from Kemet? Greek is important, dude. Greek is important and it's ancient. Yeah, the African Greek ain't all caps. Alexander, when he wrote Greek in Greek, he would write in all cap, do his thing. But what was the pull? Breaking up again? Oh my God. Let's see. Let me see. Family said I'm breaking up. But anyway, you good now? It was breaking up a little bit. Thank you for letting me know that. And the family says the top piece of the Rosetta Stone is missing. Bianchi says, Urugu sources lied on the people. Let me write. Lied on the people of the continent all the time. Are you trying to say you another name, the first one? And did he go during the African era or the Greek era? There is no African era, Bianchi. There is no Greek era. The African era, so-called, let me listen, Bianchi. What you call an African era, or an African time or an African age actually became the Greek age. It's called Hellenization, Hellenized Egypt. How did it become Hellenized? You said it before. Foreigners coming in, sitting on the throne. Who were those foreigners and what time period was it? It was around the second to third century BCE. That's when you have the Ptolemaic dynasty. Hmm? So the African era is actually a Greek era, if you want to call it that. I don't never say it like that, an African era and a Greek era, because I know culturally and linguistically they became one, especially, especially, especially linguistically. That's the truth, Pianki. So there's no African era family and there's no uh Greek era. No, it was all one. They mixed the government, they mixed the social construct, they mixed the politics, they mixed the economics, and they mixed the genetics. Believe that. Believe that. His brother said the Greek era started in 320 BCE. I'm gonna tell you when the Greek era started, as I want to say, the Greek era. It started when the Ptolemaic dynasty set up its dynasty. That's when you got Greeks in Africa teaching all of the people in North Africa to use Greek, but in an African dialect as their lingua franca. That's the truth. Okay? So you want to time what you're calling the Greek era by the actual instituting of that language. And come on, man. The best time you can find of that is under the Ptolemaic dynasty when the whole world becomes Hellenized, the whole ancient world, not just y'all and Kemet, but the whole ancient world became Hellenized. Yeah, I had a talk with Professor uh, Walter Williams about Hellenization of North Africa. And the reason we were talking about that is because of the particular codex, religious codex that came out of North Africa during that time of the Ptolemaic dynasty, all the way back to Sotir I. Right? He says so, but I would call them foreigners that came in, but how can you call them invaders when the people never stood up to them, Bianchi? That's why I asked you that question. Huh? We can't call George Bush and John Kerry and all these white people that ruling in government, we can't call them invaders if we submit to their rule. We can't do that. We can only call them invaders if we rise up and we fight them economically, socially, politically, in your homes, and or even physically. So you can't call the Ptolemaic dynasty invaders because it was a dynasty. It wasn't just one king that came in from Eastern Europe and he came down and killed somebody and poisoned the pharaoh and he jumped up in it. No, no, Bianchi. This is a dynasty, brother. And these kings that came from that dynasty actually were set up in other places. Mm-hmm. I just told you to read the book of Daniel where it talks about the tentacles that came out of that Ptolemaic dynasty. And somebody said they were Mike. They were what? They were what? Did not the Romans get ran out by a queen? What does that have to do with anything that we're talking about? Y'all are on some miniature logic, man, some pseudo stuff. What are you talking about? I just told you they're not invaders if you don't fight them. They're only foreigners. And when they become foreigners, when they're coming into your land as foreigners, they should either submit to the ruling structure or what? You tell me. What should a foreigner do? Should he become a king and tell all of the people for years and years and years throughout a whole dynasty that none of y'all can actually rule your land? What? Now here we go. Here we go. This shit cutting out again. But tell me, what else do you call those people? I know, yep, breaking up. What else do you call them? Do you call those invaders ancestors? Pianki? Look at what y'all said. They're saying buffering. Damn. Pianki said they were subjected to, by Persia. Uh, that's why I viewed the Greeks as liberators, but they soon realized that that was a false notion, and the Ptolemies were the last dynasty. Well, again, that's as easy as saying, Michael, I agree with you. Because here we are again talking about Persians, we're talking about Greeks, and we're talking about others. Hmm? But nobody teaches this stuff. Who taught? Who is the most notable Kemet teacher? And I hope I'm not breaking up right now. But who is the most notable Kemet teacher that has taught y'all about the Greeks that ruled Egypt? Hmm? How about the whites that ruled Egypt? David Berry said, am I ready for that Bible debate? I'm always ready for a Bible debate, but you're not ready, David. I'm just razzing you, my brother. You're not ready. Hold on a second, y'all. Give me 1 minute. I gotta go take a tinkle. Hold on. I've been drinking all this water, man. I need to stop drinking it. Just drinking too much water. He said Shaka almost got close. Got close to what? Close to coming out the closet? What did Shaka get close to? Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Give me 60 seconds. I hope I didn't subject y'all to hearing the toilet flushing. Did y'all hear the toilet flush and all that? I'm sorry. That is not cool. I didn't want y'all to hear the toilet flushing on camera. My bad, everybody. But anyway, family, listen, man. We didn't get any of our proof, our genetic proof that we've been waiting on, because I've been waiting on Brother Polite or somebody to come in here and please give us some genetic proof that they're related to these ruling class white people in Kemet. Mm-mm. So let me go back and let me deal with one more thing right quick. Shaka Amos, the brother saying something about Shaka. Let me see what he's saying about Shaka. Uh, Shaka got close. What did he get close to, David Berry? He said, explaining the significance of Greek history as it should apply to all Moorish scholars. Hint, well, family. Shaka's a good scholar, but I want to tell you, Shaka's also a master manipulator. Me and Shaka talked about the actual things that we're talking about now. One time, the Ptolemaic dynasty, and Shaka really, he's not thorough in that area because none of these Kemet guys are family. They're never thorough in the actuality of Kemet. They're thorough with the romance, but not thorough with the actuality. I mean, let's see. Uh, I got a show. I'm gonna repost that for you. Me and Shaka, we talking about the same time period, and I may post me and Professor Williams, Walter Williams. We talking about the same time period, and the conversation is almost virtually the same. They were both talking about the same thing. I've corrected about the same thing, and there was no ground gained on that. The reason why they brought that up, but I'm gonna let y'all see that. I'm gonna let y'all see that so you can enjoy that. 'Cause I've had some great and powerful conversations with very intellectual black people, and I would say Shaka is one of them. Although Shaka is weird and Shaka is lost and Shaka think he an Egyptian, Shaka's smart. He's not very smart, but he's smart. He's smart enough to fool a lot of people out here into thinking that they're Egyptians. Angelique says, do I teach classes? I teach a class every week, twice really, because I just picked up an extra gig. I teach music. I teach music. I teach literal music. Like, I'm a music teacher. I'm a vocal teacher. I'm a piano teacher. And I also play live music. So I teach music. Music is my thing. But this that I do, as far as history and all the Bible stuff, that's like just been my love, studying and finding out more about myself, more about all of these other cultures, studying anthropology. It's just been my thing. So I really teach this Bible thing out on the streets out here. I teach it through my music. I teach it in these debates. I teach it on this internet. And there are hundreds of brothers that come to me personally. And like tomorrow, that I might start recording me and the brother wants to learn Hebrew. So he asked me to kind of, help him start. And so I may record those sessions and have those for y'all to check out too. So I do a lot of teaching, but I don't teach for a living. I don't teach for a living. I only I do this for love's sake. Yeah, I do this for love's sake. But musically, yeah, I'm a teacher. Africans built Egypt. Period. Well, let's talk about that. We're gonna close on that. Indeed, Storm. We're gonna close on that. Adjustment Bureau says Africans built Egypt. I don't disagree with that. I believe the Africans that built Egypt were beaten, suppressed, oppressed, and damn near erased out of history's story. So much so that all you see is their great exploits of the builders. It don't take much for a pharaoh to say, "Oh, I had a dream. I want a big pyramid, a perfect pyramid, and I'm going to die in it." No, the actual expertise comes from brick masons and the people making all of the mortar and the people dragging all of that shit and setting all of those stones and measuring those stones. Huh? Why nobody talk about them, Adjustment Bureau? Why don't y'all fall in love with those people that actually built Kemet instead of falling in love with and calling yourself Nisut Amunre Sin Atumare? Why would you identify with the culture that obviously worked its people to death and and literally almost tried to erase them from history? Hmm? You didn't think that comment was gonna go that way, did you? Adjustment Bureau. Yeah, the scene from the Ten Commandments. We was talking about the Ten Commandments the other day and laughing at it, about all the white people in it. But the truth is, somebody built all of that shit in Kemet. Y'all don't think about that kind of stuff. That's how America and Egypt has desensitized you. Nobody thinks about who broke their back and left their families day after day after day to work so hard on exalting these foreigners, so-called invaders, but at the same time working so hard to never be told that you lived in history. The workers, the actual people. Hmm? Fianchi says we do Imhotep is highly honored. Imhotep is a thief because Imhotep never would have become Imhotep alone. Somebody taught him. Somebody nurtured him. Somebody built things for him. You understand? Imhotep means nothing unless he had people that made him. And I'm trying to get y'all to understand that, Bianchi. Stop romanticizing with the ruling class of Kemet. Those are not your people by the largest standard. Your people lived in the marshlands of lower and even upper Kemet. And they were worked to the bone, Bianchi. They were worked harder than the white man makes you work and made us work in this country historically. Uh-huh. Come on, Bianchi, think about it. How many people do you think it took to make Khufu's tomb? The pyramid of Khufu. How many of them got to scribble their name in the ground? I think that's how that tradition actually started. You know how people in the urban areas, they got fresh concrete, and then the brother come up with his finger and draw Willie was here. I believe that came about because everybody knows the common man gets forgotten about. Uh-huh. After you lay the concrete out here on these city blocks, then they come and they throw a manhole cover on it, and it says City of Chicago. But the city of Chicago didn't build that manhole. There were people that built that, and they were important, just as important as the government of Chicago and the city of Chicago. Get that parallel? Same thing in Egypt. Y'all stop making fools of yourselves, identifying wholesale with the rulership class of Kemet. They were not at all what you are by the great majority. I told y'all, we're going to show you Merneptah. We're going to let you look in the mummified face of Merneptah, which is a relative of Ramses II. Y'all going to let this Kemet stuff go and get with the actual people. Let me see what Bianchi's saying. Let's see, Bianchi, where you at? Those labor. Let's see. We do Imhotep is highly honored, and those structures were built by skilled laborers, not so-called Hebrews. Family. Who in the world said that? And let me do that one. Let me do that one. 'Cause I got to nail you one time. Cause see, you just dropped the ball, Bianchi. You just dropped the ball, Bianchi. Watch this. The Bible never once told you or anybody that Hebrews built those pyramids. Not one time. Not once. The word pyramid is not even in the Torah. Did you realize that? The Bible says that the Hebrews built what are called treasure cities. A treasure city is not a pyramid, is not a sphinx, is not a obelisk. Do you see that? You see that, Fianchi? Please don't never say that again. The Bible don't say that. The Bible don't say Hebrews built no goddamn pyramids. No, we don't want to take your history. We want y'all to teach it right, Bianchi. We want you to stop teaching that that's your ancestor on that thumbnail, and we want you to teach that your ancestors actually built what we found that monstrosity in. Do you understand? And please, please stop saying that the Bible says the Hebrews built pyramids. One more time, the Bible never even says the word pyramid, nor does it say the Hebrews built pyramids. The Bible says the Hebrews built what are called treasure cities. Now, I don't have time to go through the whole thing because I mean, we could do it on the next stream. Would you like to do that, Bianchi? Because I'll go right into it and I'll tell you what kind of treasure cities. And it damn sure ain't no Sphinx. And it damn sure ain't no pyramid. And it damn sure ain't no big concrete penis called an obelisk. Look at this nigga in here. You built nothing. Let me get you out because you're the only one that I'm going to kick out of here. All these other people can disagree intelligently. And here comes the fool. This is probably a white man. Get you out of here. Yeah, we gonna get you out of here. Just silly ass out of here. Let me get you right though. Let me get you right. I'm gonna get you good. We're gonna throw you into the lake of fire. You did. Let you burn. Go get you another troll account. Angel 2 Black. You'll get you another get you another account and come back. Oh man. But anyway, we'll be waiting on Brother Allen to prove that he's related to Ramesses and Merneptah. We'll be waiting on Allen to prove that. Bring us E1B1A from Ramesses' mummy and try to make sure that all of the cocaine that's in his mummified body don't affect the genetic, the test, the DNA test. See if you can skip over all of the cocaine that's in his body still 3,000 plus years later. And don't forget to ask yourself, wait a minute, he has cocaine in his body? And don't forget to ask yourself, why is there also nicotine in his body too? This ancient white man that Allen says is E1B1A. Lord, the devil got some of y'all so screwed up in the head. I tell you, it's a shame. You run out of the church full speed into the arms of hell on earth, Greek hell. The family says, don't want to use your platform, but please pray for Israel. Sincerely, the brother lost his mind. I agree. And I prayed for Israel a whole lot of times in the past. And the reason why I've let go praying for Israel is because Izzy is he's nearing reprobate. He's worse than Sarnetta. He's worse than Sarnetta. hmm But I'm definitely will. I definitely will, because I haven't prayed for Israel in a long time. Been a long time. But Israel is one wicked brother. He gives himself to that power of the evil one, like he just give himself over to it. But I'm gonna spread what you said. All of us, we should pray for Israel doctrine. Pray for his sanity. Pray for his well-being as a man. You know, no adjustment bureau, not a coca leaf. And trust me, if you're chewing on coca leaves, listen to me. What the hell is the difference? You ever chewed a coca leaf? Obviously, you aren't a connoisseur of cocaine. Stupid. That's where the raw cocaine paste come from. Anyway, he says, what type of cocaine? The kind you snort, powdered cocaine, that fish scale, that Becky, huh? That dope. Why don't you take a piece of Ramsey's mummified beef jerky skin and put it in the pipe and light it? I bet you'd be running around here like Richard Pryor on JoJo Dancer. I bet you. See? See that? You see that, y'all? What he said? Poor Adjustment Bureau don't know that I put the whole forensic analysis of Ramses and Hinutawi's mummy on this channel. It's in the documentary, stupid. And it's documented that the white folk that told you that cigarettes and pipe smoking and cocaine snorting and use abuse, they told you they were the first to do it. But I said in my videos that the ancient Kemites were the first cluckers, the first tweakers, the first on that snow, that Becky. Look it up. It's on my video. Hmm? It's on video, the documentary, the forensic analysis, and the conclusion that Ramesses is not the only one. You're not stupid. You're just uninformed. You didn't know. You didn't know. Cocaine was not synthesized in the late 1800s. Cocaine has been around since the early Egyptians. That's the truth. You got to look at the documentary that I put up about it, the forensic documentary, and the lesson that I taught about it, man. You got to go back and check the channel out. And y'all that have not subscribed, don't be no fool. You're missing out. You're missing out. Smash that subscribe button. Let's see. David Berry says the Harrison Act of 1914, regulated by the feds in 1913, pure yellow journalism. What is that about, fam? Thank you, Angelique. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the stream. 'Cause I like to talk to people that know something about history and know something about something. And I'm telling you, it's so many of y'all that I love to even take your crazy questions, because it lets me know that you know something. You've been reading, or you done been thinking at least. And those of you that support me, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you, and I greatly enjoy the time we spend talking, conversating, and dealing with these things. Really, really do. And so, yeah, man. It's been real. Peace and love to everybody. And we're coming back. We're coming back because I told you. And hey, shout out to Brother Sonetta. Sonetta, we're going to be pulling the skirt up on Kemet until August, man. Y'all make sure you buckle up. Oh, man. That ancient book of sugar sure did exist. It sure did. What else would make a person draw Geb flipped over on his back, sucking his own penis, but a dopehead mind, an ancient dopehead mind. David says, "Don't forget our debate." David, find me on Facebook. Have you found me on Facebook yet? Can you find me on Facebook? Or better yet, drop your email in the comment section. Not on here, not in the live section, but throw it in the comment section when the video posts so I can screenshot it and I'll remember to contact you. And we can debate. I tear your ass up, David. I cut your ass to bits, baby. Yeah, that's cool. That's all right. I just got back on Facebook this past year myself. So just drop your email in the comment section when the video posts. Miss Beverly says, "Good night. I should be asleep." Bless you, Miss Beverly. We love you. I love you. Bless you, Miss Beverly. Yeah. Praying for a good report from that doctor in the morning, Miss Beverly. All right. So, y'all, peace and blessing to you, man. Peace and blessing to everybody. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and all of the people that are still donating. I don't care if you donated 50 cents. I'm telling you, thank you, because when we pull this Mac out and we get to doing what we do with it, you understand. You understand. I don't want to have to come back again and say thank you to all of them. So I'm gonna say thank you as we go. We don't have enough yet because the donations are coming in slow, and I'm putting a little chip, a nickel in every now and then, and this and that. But when we get to it, oh, we gonna really get to it. So thank you to all of y'all that are doing that, man, and donating, small, large, or even just a pat on the back, brother. I appreciate you and I love you for that. Real talk. So peace, y'all.